everybody, Josh from Populi here. Let's say you have a store. One entrance says Gym Shop and the other says Brunhilde's, but they both feed into the same space. That is a less than completely accurate example of what we call cross-listing for courses in Populi. Don't worry, we're gonna get precise. This video will be most useful for users with either the academic admin or registrar roles, since they're the ones who can edit cross-listing on courses. Cross-listing lets you create a single course instance that combines different course catalog entries. So, two students can take the same course, but end up with different courses listed on their individual transcripts. So, let's say that you have a course called ENG 231 Writing History, and you have another one called HIS 260 History Writing. The course has the same professor, the same class meetings, and mostly the same assignments. The professor wants to keep things organized in one course and avoid flipping between two different course instances. She also wants to be able to have students in both courses participate in the same discussions with each other. These two courses are ideal for cross-listing. Before we look at how to set this up, let's talk briefly about what this is not. This is not a way to merge two already existing courses. So if you've already created two different course instances and enrolled students in each of those, cross-listing will not enable you to mash those two courses together. This should become obvious as we set things up. Let's start from academics, academic term, courses. Make sure you're looking at the correct term. We're gonna go to create the first course instance right here. We could start with either ENG 231 or HIS 260. It doesn't have much impact. I'm going to use ENG 231. So I create the ENG 231 course instance and then go to it and then to the settings tab. If you mouse over the course text here, you'll see that it's clickable. You have my permission to click the word course. Then we get the cross-listing dialog. This dialog is where we'll create the second course instance, HIS 260, which will be thereby cross-listed with ENG 231. We set the department that contains the course. Then we select the correct course from the next dropdown. You can set the section to any number that isn't already in use for this course abbreviation in that term. Then you click Add Cross-Listing. If you needed to cross-list more courses with these two, you could keep adding them here. Once you're all set, click Save. And then you'll see up at the top of the course that we've got the cross-listing up there. So the course that we started with, ENG 231, gets top billing as far as the admins and faculty can see. When students hit the course, they'll only see the course number in which they're enrolled. Down here under the Settings tab, you'll see this drop-down that you can use to select the course that you're working with. You'll have that in various places on the course, for instance, on the Syllabus tab, so you could create different syllabi for each course. When you're on the Assignments tab, creating a new assignment, you'll be able to choose to have this assignment apply to all cross-listed courses or to only one. So if you have students of various levels combined in a course, you can add different or extra assignments for each course. When you go to the gradebook to grade those students, you'll see some boxes grayed out or unavailable for certain students on certain assignments. That means that those assignments are pointed at a course in which those students are not enrolled, so it doesn't apply to them. If students are self-enrolling, they'll just see one or both of those course instances listed for them, depending on how the courses are set up. But they don't see anything that tells them that they're enrolling in a cross-listed course. They're just choosing a course and enrolling. If you're adding students to the course on the roster, you'll see that you're able to choose which course you're adding each student to. We mentioned at the beginning that cross-listing is not a way to merge two existing instances with different course abbreviations. But If you have already created those 2 instances and then enrolled students in both of them, here's how you'd move students into a cross-listed course. And this would have to be done before any grades have been given or before any students have submitted work, since there's not a way to move that information from one course instance to another. You'd choose an instance to keep. The other instance you'll end up eventually deleting. You'll go to the Keeper course, onto the Settings tab, click the course text, and cross-list the correct course. This part is a little bit tricky to think through because a single student can't be enrolled in 2 instances of the same course in the same term. So to make this work, we're going to import students from that other instance of HIS 260 into ENG 231. You'll want to keep a list of all of the students in that original instance of HIS 260 because we're going to have to go back to that instance, delete them out of it, and then change their enrollment on the cross-listed instance of HIS 260. Okay, so now let's look at how we'll do that. We'll go down to the Roster tab. We'll click Add Students. We'll choose Import Students from another course and locate that other course instance here. So this is duplicating all of the students from that other instance of HIS 260 in ENG 231. Then we'll go back to section 1 of HIS 260 and delete all of those students there. That's going to let us go back to this instance of ENG 231, and then we'll manage all of those students and change their enrollment to this cross-listed instance of HIS 260. Okay, so now we've duplicated all of those students in the cross-listed course. We've deleted them out of the old course instance, and once you've done that, it probably makes sense to just go ahead and delete that empty course instance. And you can do that by going to Academics, Academic Term, Courses, and right next to that course instance, click the trash can icon. And you should be able to locate that course instance because it will have 0 enrolled students. One other thing to keep in mind, if you've already built out the course instance that you're looking to delete, so if you've added new assignments and lesson content, stuff like that, you should clone it over to the empty cross-listed course so you don't have to start from scratch. You might also want to check out our knowledge base article on cross-listing. You'll find it linked in the description below. I'm Josh for Populi. You've been great. Thanks for watching.